This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. The Rolex market has been a subject of intrigue and speculation, especially with the rise in demand for certain models and the complex dynamics of authorized dealers, gray market sellers, and collectors. As we head into 2025, numerous factors influence the market, from the ongoing appeal of specific models to the supply chain challenges that create market scarcity. In this analysis brought to you by the luxury world, we will take a deep dive into the market manipulation, predictions for the best sellers, and what Rolex may or may not be doing in the coming year. Don't miss out. Subscribe to our channel for the latest on luxury watches and more. Best sellers in the Rolex market for 2025. Year after year, certain models dominate Rolex's best-selling list. These watches are usually steel models, as they offer a combination of durability, versatility, and style. Rolex's classic models, such as the Datejust, GMT Master II, and Submariner, have been staples in the market for decades. These watches are the go-to choices for those looking for everyday timepieces with reliable performance. However, as trends shift, certain newer models are making their mark. One such model gaining significant attention is the Oysterflex Daytona, particularly the Oysterflex Day-Date, which has become a fan favorite in recent years. This trend is not expected to slow down anytime soon. Many watch dealers have noted a growing interest in the Oysterflex Day-Date, and it seems that this model will continue to be one of the top sellers in 2025. The continued popularity of this watch may be partially influenced by social media channels and independent watch dealers, who have helped boost awareness of its unique appeal. Authorized dealers. Will the traditional model ever return? The traditional idea of walking into an authorized Rolex dealer and buying the watch of your choice on the spot seems like a distant memory. The current market dynamics, driven by a supply and demand imbalance, have made this nearly impossible. Prices have been inflated on the gray market due to the scarcity of popular models, and many potential buyers find themselves on long waiting lists. Experts predict that this situation will persist into 2025, with the scarcity of high-demand models continuing. Although there may be some relief as prices begin to drop, particularly on the gray market, it's unlikely that consumers will have easy access to their desired models at retail prices shortly. It will likely remain a challenge for collectors and enthusiasts to walk into a Rolex store and leave with the model of their choice. However, there is hope that, over time, as production and availability increase, the pressure on waiting lists may ease, making it easier to acquire popular watches directly from authorized dealers. The Panda Daytona, an icon that's here to stay. One of the most iconic models in the Rolex lineup is the Panda Daytona, a watch that has continued to dominate the secondary market for its high demand and collectible status. Despite the challenges posed by price inflation and market manipulation, the Panda Daytona remains a favorite among collectors. Retailing at around $13,200, the Panda Daytona has consistently sold for much higher prices on the secondary market, with some models reaching upwards of $27,000 or more. There is little indication that the Panda Daytona's popularity will wane in 2025. Its status as a grail watch, meaning that it's a must-have for serious collectors, ensures its enduring appeal. Even if buyers feel some initial sticker shock after purchasing the watch, the investment typically holds its value well. The Panda Daytona's place in the market is secure, and it is expected to remain one of the most sought-after models in the coming years. Will Rolex's 2025 releases revive a slowing market? Rolex enthusiasts eagerly await the brand's annual releases, especially those that are set to debut at major events like Watches and Wonders. However, 2024 saw mixed reactions to Rolex offerings, with some models failing to generate the excitement expected. As we approach 2025, many are wondering whether Rolex will be able to pull something big out of the bag to reinvigorate the market and stimulate new interest in the brand. While it's difficult to predict exactly what Rolex will release, there is hope that 2025 will bring a fresh lineup of desirable models. After all, the brand has built its reputation on producing watches that not only maintain value but also stay relevant with each new release. What collectors truly want is a balance of innovation, design, and practicality, watches that people can actually wear and enjoy, rather than just stockpile as investments. If Rolex can meet these demands, there may be a positive shift in the market. Additionally, reducing waiting times and offering models in greater quantities could help alleviate some of the frustrations collectors face. However, likely, certain models will remain scarce, keeping the gray market active and ensuring that certain pieces continue to fetch a premium. The Big Four Oysterflex models. Continued popularity in 2025. The Oysterflex models, often referred to as the Big Four, are some of the most coveted Rolex watches. These include the Paul Newman, the rose gold Sundust Daytona, the Daytona Ghost, and the Pikachu. The demand for these models is unlikely to subside in 2025, especially given their limited availability and the high retail prices that push them into the gray market for resale. The limited production and uneven distribution of these models have made them even more desirable. They often hit the market in waves, with brief periods of availability followed by months of scarcity. As a result, prices for these watches have consistently exceeded retail, and they remain hard to obtain for most buyers. Despite this, demand remains strong, and it's expected that prices will continue to rise if Rolex maintains its strategy of limited releases. Discontinued Rolex models, what's on the chopping block for 2025? Each year, Rolex discontinues certain models, and collectors eagerly speculate on which watches will be phased out in the coming year. One model that has generated significant attention is the GMT Master 2 Sprite, which is expected to have a relatively short production run. While there is no official word on its discontinuation, many believe that it could be one of the models that gets phased out in the next few years, possibly in 2025 or 2026. Another model under scrutiny is the Pepsi GMT Master 2, a watch that has seen its fair share of hype over the last 18 months. The market for this model has cooled somewhat, as collectors are now more willing to wear their watches rather than treating them as investment pieces. The value of the Pepsi GMT is likely to continue fluctuating, but its future in the Rolex lineup remains uncertain. The role of market manipulation. Why are certain models so expensive? One of the most perplexing questions in the Rolex market is why certain models, such as the RLX Titanium, are sold at prices well above their retail cost. The answer lies in market manipulation and supply scarcity. When a particular model is released in limited quantities, demand skyrockets, and prices on the gray market quickly surge. The RLX Titanium, for example, is a model that is intentionally starved in the market, making it difficult to find and pushing prices well above retail. Despite its retail price being around $12,000 to $13,000, the RLX Titanium has been known to sell for over $30,000 on the secondary market. This inflated price is a result of its limited availability, and many buyers are willing to pay a premium for the prestige of owning one. However, experts suggest that the true value of this watch is likely much lower, and the gray market prices are unsustainable. As the Rolex market continues to evolve, certain trends are expected to persist into 2025. Steel models will remain the backbone of Rolex bestsellers, while new models like the Oysterflex Date 8 are expected to gain even more traction. However, the scarcity of highly sought-after models, the manipulation of supply, and the inflated prices on the gray market will continue to shape the landscape. Rolex's ability to release new, exciting models in 2025 will play a crucial role in determining the direction of the market. Collectors are hoping for fresh designs, quicker availability, and a more balanced distribution of models across authorized dealers and the secondary market. Only time will tell whether Rolex can meet these demands and whether the market will stabilize or continue its current trajectory. What are your thoughts on the Rolex market predictions we shared in this video? We would appreciate it if you let us know by leaving a comment and giving it a thumbs up. Do not forget to follow our channel for more content. Once again, this is the Luxury World, and we look forward to having you join us in our upcoming videos.